Matt Kraemer, I'll say Kraemer,
Yeah,
of Sanzaru, said that Shattered Crystal kind of fell into their lap. Wish they could have more time to give it that. Wish they had a lot more time to give that game the love it needed. I agree.
yeah. And this is coming from someone who actually liked the game, despite,
Yeah,
the whole
I
political
actually
stuff.
is it. I'll put it like this: is it a terrible game that should burn, like with Sonic 06 and Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric?
Hmm.
No, it really isn't. There is a lot of good ideas in there
Yeah,
that to not only make it feel like a Sonic game, but to also stand out as its own IP.
yeah.
So, but there is still a lot of flaws.
Hmm.
And with Fire and Ice coming out pretty soon,
Hmm.
it was like, yeah, you got 2 years to work on this, probably even longer than that. Probably, but in an interview in Games to Stop, I'm taking it directly from TSSC. I am sorry, everyone, but honestly, you are the best news outlet, Sonic news outlet out there.
Because we like plugging.
We like plugging. It was
Send us a
questioned,
check tomorrow.
yeah. It was questioned, what was it like working on a series as storied and popular as Sonic? He
Yeah.
quotes, "It's been fantastic to get an opportunity to work on Sonic. I mean, we grew up with Sonic, and it's really been an honor. The first game kind of fell into our lap. I'm not going to pass it up. It's Sonic. I don't care what time frame or situation we have. It's Sonic. We have to do it. But I wish we had more time to give that game the love it needed. But I feel that what we, but I feel what we did here with this new game, the team is really proud of it. So Fire and Ice, basically, this is what we wanted to do with Shattered Crystal, minus the Fire and Ice themes,
Yeah.
but fixed.
Hmm.
It's like the main problem, like I said, um, I think back when we did the 25th party,
Yeah.
Fire, Fire and Ice has to fix three major problems.
Yeah.
One, not too not too forced exploration, and the
Yeah.
levels are a bit too big.
Cut down on the Metroidvania type deal.
Yeah, I don't mind that. It gives it its own flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Vanilla Sonic and there's Chocolate Sonic.
Hmm.
Do not take that out of context. I am quite hungry right now.
Oh boy.
And like Vanilla Sonic basically is your basic standard platformer, and
Hmm.
like your Chocolate Sonic is basically different.
Yeah.
It's the same feel. It's the same, I guess consistency. I guess
Well, basically,
I am really hungry and I'm craving for ice cream right now.
yeah, well, okay, let's put it this way. For what I've known of what you told me and what I've seen of it, basically, what I've seen of Fire and Ice is that it takes the basic gameplay. It's a speed platforming game. You go around, collect rings, bash robots, but you have all these extra things. Like, you can whip onto stuff, you can pull things, you can use the other character's ability to fly, to punch underground, to activate switches, and access areas you couldn't do. Essentially, that's what really the whole point of this Boom series is to utilize the other characters and try and open up
Yeah, and
things.
essentially it's basically just think Sonic Heroes but in 2D.
Mm.
And for anyone who's only going to quote me, yes, I know Sonic Heroes Classic exists. I have played it. It's not really that interesting. I mean, yeah, you can use your characters to get to different areas within Sonic Hedgehog 2, but still, you can still complete the game playing as Sonic.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's just I don't know. Sonic Advance 3 and Sonic Boom by Shattered Crystal already did it. Another
Yeah.
one is basically infrequent use of using the touchscreen.
Mm.
Say, how you use the touchscreen other than menus and level selecting? Well, you can just drag down on the screen to use the energy beam to launch yourself from catapults.
Yeah, so that's what allows you to get to know the rail
It,
areas.
it's not my 3DS, but my wife has screamed at me for using my fingers on the touchscreen. I do that all the time. I do that all the time though. It's kind of involuntary where I have to use my thumb and drag down.
Yeah,
So hopefully that is reduced to a button, from which I hear it has. And and was, one little complaint for me is just the length and the presentation,
mm.
where the length of it felt like no more than 2 hours.
Yeah,
For a handheld game, that's kind of expected,
mm.
but it just feels a lot more shorter than Advance and Rush.
Yeah,
And the presentation, some of the counter models are like a bit ugly.
yeah. Well, I was just saying,
Knuckles' mouth is really big.
well, I'm just saying, I will say the one thing about the last game is in the in-game engine stuff, not the CG things, because what we've heard, they're apparently going to be even better this time around. The in-game sort of visuals for the characters, again, they all seem to have like really puffy cheeks. Like the mouths are really squashed and sort of really puffed up in places. So again, maybe that was just them, as I say, maybe they just didn't have enough time to really get the models done right. So who knows? But they probably fixed it for this one anyway. And the fact we're also getting Amy as well, so that's going to be sort of a new added bonus as well.
Yeah, she has a model in the game, which just
Yeah.
barely see it.
No, well, she's spent half the game brainwashed and taken away, isn't she?
Apparently, Eggman's in the game. It's just that he just appears and get a voice clip in one cutscene.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, we'll see what happens. Normally when the game they're saying like there's another villain involved, normally that means that he'll be in it for a bit and then Eggman may turn up at the very end.
No, he was on a screen for that one cutscene in Shattered Crystal.
Yeah, but I'm just saying until the final game, when the game actually comes out, I'm just saying this in general terms. You know how these stories goes.
But from what he says, it kind of fell into the lap and they had a certain time frame. From what I hear, it was like 8 months before that. I think it was like a very short time frame.
Yeah. And that's a very odd thing, because again, comparing this to Red Alert, which that game was like, they were like, desperately, we got to get this thing working alone, let alone getting it out. They were basically in the same battle, and yet somehow they managed to make a more solid game in the end.
Yeah, I think Sanzaru had a shorter time frame, because I do think Big Red Button had a longer time frame. I think there's certain the 11th hour decision saying, hey, we're going to port this to the Wii U. Everyone alright with that? What the fuck?
It's like, you serious? Yeah.
This is the Cry engine on a PC. It looks fucking gorgeous. You put it into the Wii U, which we don't know how to program for, and it's not as powerful as the PS4 and Xbox One.
Exactly.
Are you mad?
Yeah. And also, it's worth mentioning that I think Big Red Button were the ones who basically designed the whole world. They were like, well, okay, what's the Boom universe going to be? And when Sanzaru got it, it's like, okay, we got the world now. We just got to build the game.
Yeah, and honestly, between the two games, I'd rather Shattered Crystal be in a canon prequel. Because A, everyone already knows each other. There's no, Sonic has to learn how to be in a team, which doesn't really appear in Rise of Lyric. 2, there's actually a backstory to the ancients in that. It's like there's this whole old world technology kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes this one little plot hole. So Lyric can fucking fly, yet he gets kicked out of his airship.
He gets kicked out of an airship into God knows where.
And again, Sonic did actually beat the shit out of him, and his robot parts may have just, broke.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But the comedy, the characters, they act like they do in the TV show.
Yeah.
And Fire and Ice could be the sequel.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I would say the only reason Fire and Ice is existing is because A, they realise this one actually had potential to go forward with it, and B, if anything, it was the stronger bet of if this series is going to continue in any game form, it has to be through the 3DS.
Yeah, because kids.
Exactly. I mean, again, and more importantly, it's like, well, we wanted they need a good game. We're not just going to half-ass it. They deserve a good game out of this. If they're willing to watch the show, we got to give them something on the same quality as that.
Yeah, and Shattered Crystal was, in my opinion, a decent game.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. It had a lot of flaws, but there was potential. There was an ambition to actually make a game for the Boom universe that wasn't taking itself too seriously and had a lot of fucking glitches.
I will say, the only two things I would say is I know a lot of people said the dialogue in the game, the actual text dialogue, was kind of like a bunch of really trying to be funny stuff, which hopefully they've fixed this time around and actually, we'll probably get the guys from the show to actually write some funny lines in.
There was a few funny lines in the game.
All right, but
in Rise of Lyric, though, fucking hell.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that in general. So obviously, since
Rise of Lyric had two funny moments. That's when Sonic was pointing at himself, looking like me. When he, Lyric goes, you. That part was funny. Yeah. And the second one is when it sounds like Sonic was going to say shit. Oh,
really?
Shoot!
Really, I didn't know they did I didn't know they did that.
Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
I think it was when getting chased by Metal for I think the second time. I think.
Right. Okay, I never realised that.
Replay it.
All right. Well, that's a big deal.
I know it's a big deal. It's just too much to ask. If you can get it, just watch it online.
But anyway, the second point I want to make is that it's funny because with Fire and Ice, like I said, with everything that's been going on with Sonic recently, with Mania and Project Sonic, is that Fire and Ice is still kind of. I remember being at Summer of Sonic, and the queue for it was a lot smaller, I will say that.
Well, compared to the new game coming out by Christian Whitehead, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's a lot of people I do talk to half the time. A lot of them are going like, yeah, whatever. In fact, my friend James said, like, I don't know. They should have not continued. If for a while there was talk whether Fire and Ice was actually canned. It was actually They just decided not to finish it.
Even we thought it was canned. It's like, where the fuck is it? We
Yeah,
got one trailer and fuck all.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not a good sign because that normally means that, oh god, this game's not going to turn out well, is it? Or it's just dead. But no, I think a lot of people.
But then again, it was delayed for the 25th anniversary, which we assumed and was correct.
Yeah.
And
But
the fact that we're still developing it.
Yeah, exactly. But I still think, I do think people have kind of maybe underestimated it. I think it's gone through a period now where when it comes out, I think a lot of people will go like, actually, this is a lot better than I thought it would be at all.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of prejudice against the series itself.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's
just because of those two games.
I know. I mean, that's the problem. Is obviously that Boom as a game series is not exactly has been the big hoo-ha and the big sort of stab in the heart for a lot of people. So really, to do another 3DS game sounds like, well, what's the big deal? But with that said, it sounds like they really are doing the traditional game thing, as in you take a core concept, take everything that was good, and just improve it upon it.
Which they did. Even Sonic Team did that with Unleashed through Generations.
Yeah. Like I said, I would love it.
Because I was debating with Gamer Guy, who was also another Sonic theorist, and we were debating about what eras of Sonic there is, like the Dark Age, the Renaissance Age, the Golden Age.
Oh my God.
There are people there. It's like it kind of makes sense. Like the classics were the Golden Age.
All right. To be fair, though, I've done that with myself with Cartoon Network. There was the Golden Age, the Dark Age, and now we're in the Silver Age in the minute. So
yeah,
there you go.
The Dark Age is like, really, when did it start and when did it end? Because we've managed to guess how long the Dark Age lasted. Guess how long?
Oh God. Well, Sonic-wise, I don't know.
3 years.
Right then. Well, I'd say it's longer than Cartoon Network because I would say that was from mid 2000 to 2005. That was the Dark Age for Cartoon Network.
2005, 2006, 2007.
I'm saying 2005 is when it sort of ended. That's when the good stuff started to kick in.
Mm.
But I'm just saying that's the difference, really. Sonic had 3 years of bad stuff. Cartoon Network had to suffer for longer.
And the Renaissance Age started with Unleashed. Even though that is very, very debatable, considering.
I would say Unleashed is the beginning. It really is the beginning.
I'll say the beginning because if we didn't have Unleashed, you wouldn't have Colors and Generations because Unleashed was kind of going to be the last attempt.
Yeah, well, this was the big sort of, we've got to get it right this time, right? We've already messed up our first next-gen game. We've got to get it right this time.
Yeah, because I would say go play Generations, play the modern levels, then go back and play Unleashed, and you'll find, like, the controls are a bit more slippery. They're a bit more sensitive than you expect.
Yeah, I mean, really, for everybody who said that Colors are somehow the masterpiece, it's like, oh, this is where they started getting good. Really, half of it was they did it Unleashed, then they tried to do a full game of that in Colors, and then just went crazy with Generations.
And we're probably going to get it again with 2017 if the trailer's anything to be taken from.
Exactly. But like I said,
other than that, I'm looking forward to Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm going to say like a fourth time now, I enjoyed Shattered Crystal for what it had to offer. I had complaints, but from what I hear, Fire and Ice is going to fix all those complaints and give us a more solid game with a unique concept.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair though, you'll probably find new problems in it, but I
don't doubt that.
Yeah, but again, as long as the game is just fun in itself, you won't really matter. And again, I feel to me that, I like it if Boom, particularly Sanzaru games, are just going to continue the game part of Boom, really, because I do think they should be the ones to handle it now.
They could make another console games, because they did so with Sly 4.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, actually, I'll end with this. Funny enough, during the interview you were talking about, while they were talking about when you did this and all that stuff, and they asked the question about, were you trying to emulate the classic games as well as the animated show? And they said, we sort of went back and forth with Sega Japan and what we wanted, and particularly, they said that, we were looking through the Sonic Bible, actually, and particularly wait, there's a Bible for this? It's like, yeah, there's a Bible. Obviously, when they were working on Boom, they must have made up a huge book saying, this is the world, these are the characters, this is the universe they can explore, here's what we like to think will go on. A lot of these creative ideas have to have Bibles. This is what happens in video games a lot of times. It gives you an entirety of what's in the game before you even played it. And so...
Yeah, Sega America made a Sonic Bible, and it was really fucking weird.
Yeah, but like I said, so I wouldn't be too surprised, if anything else, if half of this stuff, like you said, is just continuing from what they originally intended with Sonic Boom, and they're just going to go, okay, we've taken the lessons on board, now we're really going to just continue it both through television and through this through just a small pocket game essentially.
Between Sanzaru and Big Red Button, only Sanzaru knows how to make a fucking game.
Yeah, but
No disrespect to
no,
was it? I forgot his name now.
Bob Raffy.
Bob Raffay, yeah. No
Yeah.
offense to you, your artwork is fucking brilliant, but
No, no offense to your teammates as well.
honestly,
Yeah.
if you get a chance, try and port Rise of Lyric to the PC with all bugs fixed. Because I guarantee you'll have more Let's Plays about it.
But for the moment, we'll let the monkeys play with the game.
Yeah.